let's talk about real life relationships. We've got Tolu Afonja to do just that. She is a trainer, a speaker, an integrative life relationship and marriage coach. She's a human resource professional with over 18 years experience of which cuts across education, banking, consulting, and coaching, of course. Fondly referred to as the nurturer. She is passionate about nurturing individuals and couples to evolve. Today, we discuss, wait for it, drum roll, money, love, language. Hey, good to have you in the studio with us, Tolu. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Glad to be here again.
Awesome. You know, when people talk about love language, nobody ever talks about money, love language. Just say, oh, my love language is money. But money, love language, how people handle money, how money affects their personality, all of that. Tell us more about money, love language.
So when we talk about money, love languages, it's actually how you relate with money, you know, based on your personality. You know, most of the time we try to label ourselves and say, I am this, I am that, I am this. But then it's not really about the labeling. It's really about how you show up concerning money in your relationship. So we say that money matters is one of the critical things that cause conflict in relationships. And, you know, those conflicts arise because of clashes in our perceptions, in how we connect with money, our ideologies, our values, and what we think money should be, you know. So that's about money, love languages. So when we look at it in relationships, it's how do we understand ourselves and how do we understand our partner with regards to their money behaviors. And that understanding, that awareness helps to minimize, the conflicts will still come up, but minimize those conflicts when it comes to money matters.
Now let's talk about the different kind of personalities there are and how they handle money. I know we might not be able to touch on all kinds of personalities because people differ, especially when it comes to money matters. But let's touch on a few. When we talk about personalities and how they handle money, could you just describe a few?
Well, so of course, there are different schools of thoughts with regards to personalities, but I'll just key into four, right, with regards to the money, love languages. So you have the drivers. Drivers are the assertive ones. They are the goal-getters. They are the ones that are very, very confident in their decisions, in their way of thinking and all. And when it comes to how they look at money, they look at money as a tool. Right? Whatever they want to do, they just go ahead to do it. You know, they are focused on something. I want to buy this car today. They're not really thinking about any other thing. They just focus on that car. Yeah. So in relationships, they may be perceived to not be so emotional because they do not really listen to other views concerning what, you know, what you're using the money for, and they may be perceived to be unyielding. So they feel that you don't understand them, you don't want them to achieve what they want to achieve, but they are also, you know, just set in their ways. So if you're in that kind of relationship if you're in a relationship with that kind of person, then you also need to be able to understand that this is where this person is coming from. But this person who is the driver should also know when to step back and say, oh, this thing is showing up, I need to step down a bit. And so communication is also, we always say communication is the driving force in everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, is it possible for such a person to unlearn it?
Well, it's not unlearning because we say that these things will show up. I mean, we all have these things. It's just when and how it shows up and how we relate with it. So it's not about unlearning. It's just knowing how to step down a bit and knowing how to balance it based on how, you know, what you know about your partner. In terms of, okay, you don't understand this is my reason why I need this car. But not just saying, I need a car. No, I must get this car and all. You don't want me to succeed and, you know, start projecting all your insecurities on that person.
All right.
So that's about the driver.
That's for drivers.
Yes.
So let's talk about the next one.
The next one, we have the analyst. So analysts are very, very logical. They are methodical, you know, attentive to details. They want financial security. They want to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. So if you have an analyst, I mean, if you are an analyst or you are connected, related to an analyst will want to have all the spreadsheets before making any financial decision. They want to see all the reviews about, you know, whatever it is. They want to weigh all the pros and cons. They're particular about security in terms of they're inflexible. Okay, so when there are emergencies in the relationship, or, you know, we want to look at something else, they will say, no, 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 it's not in the budget this time around. It has to wait till when we can have it in the budget, you know. And also, they are the ones that are very, very, you know, straight and will not want to budge in any way.
I know someone exactly. So now let's talk about the next kind of person.
So the next one, we look at the expressives. Expressives. Okay. Expressives are socialites, right? Enthusiasts. You know, they're the ones that want to enjoy life, right? They are particular about experiences. You know, so they don't want to know that there's no money, or, you know, we can't afford this now.
No,
they're just, you know, it doesn't concern them. They can be very impulsive. Yeah. So when you say that they can go into like a restaurant, for example, and their expression of the way they spend money is, oh, okay, you don't have food to eat, you know, whatever it is. They don't know you from anywhere, but they'll just buy food for you. And for them, that's fulfillment. Or they can even borrow money to be able to meet up. And, you know, it's all about, you know, just feeling good and enjoying life. They're the ones that would say, you live only once, so this life, let's just enjoy it, you know. So when it comes up in relationships and, you know, with regards to how it shows up in the relationship, if they're connected to a driver, for example, the driver, you know, wahala, you can already think about, you can already see that, you know. Or even an analyst. The analyst will say, no, it's not in the budget, we can't do this at this time, and everything. And so
he doesn't,
you know,
love me.
Yeah,
he doesn't love
exactly,
me.
Exactly. But then if you communicate in such a way that, you see, I know you love this, can we just postpone it to a particular time when we can all enjoy this experience together, you know? And then the person knows, okay, I know you value the fact that I understand this, but maybe we can't do it now. But such a person has to be very accountable, you know, so that you don't just see money and just spend it as you like, you know. And, you know, even though there are money goals, but you tend not to meet those goals because of how you express yourself.
What other kind of...
So the last one I'll touch on today is the amiable.
Amiable.
Yes.
Okay.
So amiable people are those that, you know, they are people oriented. They are, you know, want to balance and want harmony and everything. So they're the ones that will, sometimes they can be seen to be passive. So, and they don't want any conflict of anything. So when money matters come up, they will just be quiet. They won't say much because, oh, okay, if this is going to cause an issue, I'd rather let us not talk about it. Sometimes they're the ones that will, if in a relationship, their partner is probably an expressive. And so they're the ones that will say, well, I don't know what my partner is doing with his or her money, but he or she just comes back for more, you know, and you're the one that is doing all the hard work and everything. So you just keep giving, you borrow to support.
What did you call this last one again?
Amiable.
Yes, you borrow to support.
You borrow to support and you don't talk about, you know, but deep inside you're frustrated. You know, you want to do things, but you can't talk. You're not willing to talk about it because you're avoiding conflict.
I have to ask you a question.
All right, please
because this one is burning. So with all these people you've described, the personalities you've described, please, who then is the stingy person?
Well, stinginess will show up in any way. You know, stinginess is really withholding. You know, when you
so stingy is not a personality.
Well, stingy is, I won't say it's a personality. Stinginess is just a character trait, right? And you're using your stinginess to usually sometimes to cause harm to someone else. It's coming from a bad place, not a good place, right? And a bad place, even with you as an individual, the way you see yourself, the way you see money, even for yourself, you know, you want to buy soap. You need, you know, you should have soap to have your bath. But you're just stingy to yourself and say, no, instead of buying maybe Dove soap, you go and buy some other kind of brand because you just, you know, you just want to keep the money there. And meanwhile, you have the money. So stinginess is, I have the money, but I'm not going to touch it. I just want to be looking at it.
So that's not analyst.
No, that's not an analyst.
Analyst wants to be like...
Yes, analyst will budget Analyst will budget for the soap, right? Analyst would know like the quality of what I want, but would ensure that it fits into the budget.
If I don't end this now, my director is going to come and carry me bodily out of
That's
here.
fine.
He said he's stingy with time. Thank you so much for your time, Tolu Afonja. It's been quite an interesting conversation.
Thank you.
But for me, there's number 5, and that's the stingy person.